quitting your stable and secure job at a large and established company to do something for a better world, something you believe in, is inspiring. It is exactly what our father did last summer. He decided it was time to take action, to no longer wait for others to do it. He is determined that with his skills and knowledge, he will be able to contribute to a more sustainable agricultural sector in the Netherlands. Endless conversations at the kitchen table have inspired us to join his mission, because we too are no longer willing to wait. Our future depends on it. We are Laura and Vincent Nieboer, brother and sister. We have completely different skills, but are united by our ambitions. Our mission is to improve food security by restoring the soil. With our circular Nieboer concept, we want to show it's able to restore this soil without relying on synthetic pesticides and fertilizers. A healthy soil is crucial to human life, because a healthy soil can sequester carbon, retain fresh water, and of course, provide us with food. However, around 40% of global agricultural land is already severely diminished in quality and on the brink of desertification. As a result, crop yields are dropping, and the chance of crop loss is increasing. With the global population growing and the climate changing, the need to restore the soil has never been more pressing. Due to our over-reliance on monocultures and our intense use of synthetic pesticides and fertilizers, we have turned soil into dirt. As a result, it is estimated that around 2 billion people are at risk of losing their livelihood and becoming food insecure. And this number is only estimated to grow. If we continue with our contemporary unsustainable agricultural practices, the United Nations predicts that we will only have 60 harvests left before our land is completely depleted and exhausted, too barren to grow the food that we need. So something needs to change, and we want to help. Because imagine a world in which we would farm with nature instead of against it. A world in which we could live in harmony with the natural environment while having food security. Because if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us. With our circular Nieboer concept, we believe we can make our dream reality. We can combine sustainable farming, circularity, and food security to make an impact for all. Our end goal is to bring back dirt into soil.
So to reverse desertification, we envision the use of 3 main ingredients. We will take these ingredients only from waste streams, and we will process them only with very simple chemistry. As such, the Nieboer concept could be implemented anywhere by anyone. So to get into it, the first ingredient we intend on adding is a protein hydrolysate. This protein hydrolysate can be synthesized from a large array of different protein-containing sources, such as human hair, chicken feathers, or even the seeds that remain after oil pressing. Protein hydrolysates are biostimulant components, meaning that they interact with life. As such, protein hydrolysates will improve root and leaf development of plants. In addition to that, the protein hydrolysate will boost microbial activity and microbial growth in the soil. And this is really important, because the difference between dirt and soil is that dirt is dead and soil is alive. It's full of microorganisms. And these microorganisms are also very important to the plant, as they live in a mutualistic system with the plants. The plant provides the microorganism with food, and in return, the microorganism provides the plant with natural pesticides, natural fertilizers, hormones, and they will outcompete pathogens in the soil. So with these things in mind, you can conclude that the addition of a protein hydrolysate to the soil will improve plant productivity, crop yield, but will also make the plant more resilient to abiotic stresses such as droughts. The second ingredient we encompass on adding is biochar. Biochar can be synthesized from any carbon-containing material, so this limits us not only at biomass, but we can also, for example, use household waste or even plastic waste. An interesting fact about biochar is that it has a very large surface area for its weight. Because of this, it has excellent capabilities to retain nutrients in the soil and increase the bioavailability of nutrients. Another interesting fact about biochar is that it helps the plant with root development. It will also boost microbial growth in the soil. So with these things in mind, again, we can say that biochar improves plant productivity, it improves crop yield, and it will improve the plant's resistance to abiotic stresses such as droughts. The last ingredient we intend on adding is a hydrogel. This hydrogel can be synthesized from a wide array of different starting sources and will just change its chemical composition depending on what source we use. To name some examples, we for example have agricultural wastes, we have crustacean shells, or we have citrus peels. To explain how these hydrogels will improve the soil, let's first take a look at what happens in a deserted soil if you don't add hydrogels. So, what the problem is, the soil has very low water retaining capabilities. Therefore, when you water the soil or when it rains, a lot of the water will simply just disappear as runoff. And in this runoff, it's also dangerous as it can often take pesticides and fertilizer with it, causing contamination of drinking sources and causing eutrophication of natural waters. Another aspect is that deserted soils, because they have such poor water retention capabilities, during sunlight, they will lose a lot of water due to evaporation, and therefore the water use efficiency is also very low. However, if you add a hydrogel into the soil, you make the soil just a little more hydrophilic and will therefore attract more water and retain the water much better. Therefore, when you water it or when it rains, the runoff will not disappear, it will simply be absorbed by the hydrogel. In addition to that, which will also boost fertilizer efficiency, of course. And in addition to that, there will be less evaporation as the soil hangs on to the water more tightly. So, to summarize how our Nieboer concept contributes to sustainability, we'd like to take you to the 3 pillars of sustainability, starting with the first one, economic. What is in it for the farmer? Well, so the farmer can experience increased crop yields, and it will experience a higher fertilizer efficiency, meaning less fertilizer is needed, and therefore it can maximize its profits. In addition to that, because with our Nieboer concept we intend on making the soil healthier, healthy soils erode much slower. The soil the farmer uses today will still be fertile in many years from now, meaning that even the grandson or granddaughter of the farmer could still enjoy the same fertility of the soil. The second pillar, the society, what is in it for society, then I would like to take you back to the beginning of the presentation where we named that 2 billion people as of right now live on deserted soils. If we do not address the problem we have in agriculture right now, these 2 billion people will probably be forced to migrate. So food security is the second thing we can contribute to with the Nieboer concept. In addition to that, because we pledge to only use waste streams, we can also contribute to new value chains, which is beneficial for society. And the last pillar, of course, is for the environment. What is in it for the environment? Well, healthier soil, like I said before, it's full of life, and life is good for life. So it will improve the biodiversity of many areas. In addition to that, healthy soils are great at sequestering carbon dioxide, and therefore can help mitigate the problems of global warming. And this is a positive feedback loop, as global warming is often a driving factor in desertification.
We need your help to make our dream reality. We're looking for a small agricultural plot of land where we can do a full-scale pilot testing of our Nieboer method. Additionally, we're looking for access to the different waste streams that we have presented today. With your support and limited financial resources, we will be able to quickly bring a prototype to market, starting to make an impact, starting to turn dirt back into soil. The time to act is now. Something needs to change. Our futures depend on it. We hope to have inspired you the same way as our Father has inspired us. Thank you very much.
So, compliments, great talk. Are you happy how it went?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I felt the vibe was really good, at least on my side, so I hope you felt it too.
Okay, let's ask the jury, starting with René. Your business is agriculture, development within the industry. What do you think of this pitch?
Yeah, thank you for this great pitch. You are addressing a really hot topic within the agricultural business. And I really would like to invite you to share your ideas more in depth at our campus, because I think it's really worthwhile to continue with your great idea.
Oh, that's very nice.
That's
Thank
an
you.
invitation.
Yeah,
That's a
great
promise, I
one.
think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now that you can put in
Yeah.
your pocket. Wouter, interesting candidates too for the business club?
I think so, yes. I was really impressed, by the way. That was a great talk. Compliments all around. I loved the name Nieboer. It's very, very clever.
What's in the name?
Appreciate
Shakespeare
it.
told us.
Just one question. What do you intend to sell, actually? Is it technology, or are you going to sell products? Are you going to sell the hydrogel?
Yeah, it's a bit of a combination of both. I mean, maybe Vincent can tell a bit more about our initial step, and then I can tell a little bit more about what we imagine for the future.
Yeah, first of all, so the idea is that it's simple chemistry. Like we said before, it's something anyone could do, and you could use any waste stream around. So it's also, in a way, an idea to bring more power to local farmers themselves, so to say. So in third world countries where they do not have unlimited resources, they're very limited to their location, so to say. You could take waste streams from the environment and in a very simple way transform them into materials that could boost your soil fertility.
Yeah, so a very good point is that for the future, we do imagine to maybe develop more technique that can be used, like as maybe a piece of equipment that can be used everywhere, because we do believe that it's power to the people, like food is for everyone, so it should not be limited to one large corporation. So we would like to indeed create a technology, but to get there, we would have to start here maybe by producing it on larger scale so we can really test the material that comes out, so we can fine-tune the process.
I see your point. It got me thinking.
Okay. Damien, do you want to add something to the discussion?
Yeah, I thought the pitch was amazing. I really think you owned the topic. You were on top of it. It was flowing really nice. So that really, continue that whenever you pitch again. I think you make a great team. And I think family also makes a great team. And what I really liked was the balance. So you went from, say, the societal perspective, which is really important, especially when you look in the circular economy. You had the technology, and you also had the profitability side and the environment, right? So you had a really nice balance, and that I think is really important to look at it from a big picture and see how you're going to impact the various parts. So I really think it's a really nice pitch and very creative topic. And I think the other thing that really struck a chord for me, I'm an inorganic chemist by training, so talking about soil as a living material I think is fantastic, because we always talk about organics and plants, but inorganic materials can also have a life, and I think that's what you've shown.
Yeah,
Compliments. Yes, thank you. Cyril.
Well, I think most of us said, I think it was
Yeah.
a great pitch, and the vibe definitely comes over. So we're feeling it definitely. I think the great idea is, again, you're talking about a major global problem, but finding a way of, let's say, solving that on a local level. And I think this can also boost, let's say, especially in third world countries, the local economy. Because you're not only solving, let's say, the soil problem, but also boosting the local economy with a complete new kind of business. I think that's really great. So really looking forward to hearing more from you. Great.
Thank you.
Thanks, that's an encouragement.
Yeah.
Maria, do
Yeah.
you have some additional questions from the online audience?
Yes. Can you combine the three techniques into one product to make it easier for farmers?
Yeah,
I
you
think
can.
that was the idea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Sorry, maybe that wasn't clear. The idea is to add all of them at once. But
At
what is very
once.
important to note is that the exact composition of the material we're adding will depend on the soil itself. The more degraded it is, you would probably add more hydrogel, for example.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it will indeed be one product.
One
Yeah.
product.
It's easy for farmers. Yeah, that's important.
Very clear. Thank you. And farmers are having a hard time. Can your proposal compete with cheap fertilizers, or maybe combine your proposition with fertilizers? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think, can we compete with cheap fertilizers? I mean, finance aside, if we look at the future, for sure, because every farmer wants to be able to not be the last in the generation. You want to be able to move this on to your next generations, which also has a financial value. And we think that what we have come up with, this concept, will allow to do that. And fertilizers will not to the same extent, because we know it's a path that will not continuously be able to continue, like we have presented today. So yeah, we think we will be able to compete on a price-wise as well, I would say, because the materials that we're going to use are waste streams of society. And with the relatively simple technology, we will be able to make it accessible and affordable for many.
Thank you. I think that's an excellent answer. Can we watch the polls, please?
Whoa.
Wow. The best elements, they thought talent, and secondly, sustainability of your idea, and then the feasibility as well. So I think that makes 3 good ingredients for a feasible product, doesn't it?
Okay.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, how do you intend to protect your ideas or your concepts? Because, say, I think once they're out, people will be able to try to figure it out and do it on their own, right? And then as a startup, it kind of doesn't work anymore. So how do you intend to do that?
I think there are probably 2 answers to the question. One, it's good to have a conversation about this and to think. So will you help us? Will you help us think about these kind of concepts, right? On the other hand, I think we do believe that this should be accessible to a lot of people, like we said. And by being able to having that technology far spread in a lot of places, I think that will be even a larger reward. And I'm pretty sure we will be able to come up in a way that we can provide support and develop the technology so that it will be both financially positive, but also make that impact that we're longing to make.
That's also a great way to grow the market.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, thank you, Damien. I think your pitch is finished now, and you did a great job. Mom and Dad will be proud. Yeah, let's give them another big hand. Thank you.